So I feel like this is kind of related to something that it wasn't a major news story at all. It's just something that broke out on Twitter. So I think this happened in Chicago, but I don't know any of the names involved.
West
Like I
side of
said,
Detroit.
what say?
Detroit's west side.
It
It
broke out
was
in Detroit
Detroit.
West Side.
Definitely Detroit.
Got you,
Yeah.
got you. So basically, this woman had a dispute with her boyfriend, and I don't know what the nature of the dispute was, but at some point she told him, "I'm going to get my brothers to come beat you up." She got her brothers, came back over, and I don't know what was going through her brothers' heads, but they ran up in that man's house. They broke in and ran in that man's house, and clearly he was the wrong brother to do that to. Pulled out his gun and unloaded on them.
Well, I
At
forgot to tell you, there's a
uh-huh.
little bit more that I've read on this.
Oh, okay,
Once
cool.
I found out it happened in Detroit, I was
Yep.
able to look up a couple. Like I said, it still wasn't big news,
Right.
but there's a couple articles on it. And basically, what the police were able to find out initially was that, yes, those brothers came by. And now it makes sense why everybody was already out there filming
Hmm.
because when the brothers initially came over, right, at her request, she was there. She left to go get them,
Hmm.
right? And when they came back, they all decided to have a fist fight.
Oh, wow.
They were out there fighting on the yard.
Hmm.
Now, at which point, it sounds to me, based on what I read, is that maybe these brothers were not satisfied with the outcome and
Mm.
continued to try then to get into the house. And that's when
Mm.
that's when he was like, "Oh no, 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 no! This
And
was
see,
fisticuffs on the yard.
and
Now
see, you
you're in
can't
the
do that. You
house."
can't do that. This is the problem. Some brothers don't have no limitations. They don't understand, like, hey, you can go this far, but you can't go no further. All
Mhm.
right. If we have a fist fight in the yard, when I go back in my crib, that's it. Y'all go home. I don't care how upset you are. I don't care what's going on through your mind. You do not have the right to come into my home. So whatever happened on that yard, the brother went back inside, and these other two brothers, they decided to try to follow him in. He pulled out his weapon. He unloaded on
Yes, he
these
did.
brothers. And the video that's on Twitter, it basically starts, I guess, right after they had entered. So you see both of them running out. He killed one of them, and the other one is in critical condition. I don't know yet if it's clear whether or not he's going to make it. But at the end of the day, you got these two brothers getting involved in what is essentially a domestic dispute. I don't get involved in no domestic disputes because I know you gonna get right back with this nigga next month anyway. So what do I look like putting my body on the line because he said something you don't like? Unless he slapped you or he stole something from you or he gave you a disease, I don't want to hear it. Don't tell me about, oh, he cheated on you, oh, you upset, oh, y'all about to break up. That is not a reason for me to be going over to this brother's house and trying to beat on him or potentially jump him or kill him or whatever it is these women love to ask their brothers and their friends to do. We look at the violence and the crime that is happening in this city. So much of it revolves around brothers either doing what some woman told them to do or responding to some woman set up or try to make happen. So much of it revolves around bullshit having to do with women.
Wait, wait,
And
wait,
I'm
wait,
tired
wait.
of seeing it.
Oh man, that right there is a good segue into our next topic. But hold on, we ain't ready
Mhm.
to get into that topic yet. But look, let me say, even if sister came over, my sister came over, said, "Hey, yeah, he was slapping me. Is this what he slapped you? Give me the phone." 911. I mean, seriously, she had already warned him that she's going to get him. She's
Hmm.
already warned him. And if he's been involved with her, he probably knows that these guys are coming.
Yep.
So he already knows. So he had the pistol right there by the door ready.
This
He
is
had
the
it
other
right
thing
there
that's
ready.
crazy to me about the situation. Did if you've been dealing with him, you had to have known this brother is strapped. You
Yeah.
had to have known this brother had a gun. Did you tell your brothers that this man carries a pistol when you had them go over there? And if you didn't, how did you leave this information out? Because to me, any any standard street nigga worth his salt, if I know you carry a weapon, I'm not running in your house. Like that's just bottom line. Because once I kick in that door, what are you going to do? You're going to unload on me. That's just basic understanding. So I just have to believe she didn't tell them that he had a gun, which is fucking crazy.
Well, I
Why
gotta
would you
say,
put your flesh and blood in that situation?
I'm surprised he went as far as to even have the fight. I'm surprised because I would think in his situation, because I'd have been like, if you don't leave my property, it's a done deal. I wouldn't even tell him. I just tell him, you need to leave my property.
Well,
And if they don't, then I'm coming.
see, I can think of a couple of different reasons why he might have fought him. He might have fought him because he's like, y'all a couple of bitches anyway. So I'm gonna beat y'all ass in front of my whole neighborhood and, and score some points off of it. It might have been that he actually did feel like he was wrong. He's like, you know what? She got a point. I smacked her. I shouldn't have done that. So look, I'm a fist fight y'all because you know what? Y'all should be able to get a couple of licks in. My bad. And then hopefully after this goes no further. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you allow yourself to get involved in a certain situation in the hopes that more serious situations do not occur. So I can think of a couple of reasons why he did that fist fight. I can't think of any reason why those two brothers would go into the home of a man that they knew was armed. And frankly, even if they did know he was armed, why would you go into the house of a person if you weren't absolutely sure they weren't armed? Which there's no way for them to know that. So what are you doing?
See,
What are you doing?
and that's where my line of thinking becomes different because I think to myself, nobody with some sense is really going to come over here and try to try, like why would I even take a chance and go, even if I think they some big chance niggas? So, why would I even take the chance to fight two dudes when I got a pistol right here? Right? Why am I even,
This is a fact. I
why am
got
I
you.
risking even taking an ass whooping? Why am I
Mm-hmm.
even risking that?
Mm-hmm.
For what?
Mm-hmm.
To do what? To prove to who? You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? So for me, if two guys are stupid enough to come follow this woman over here,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, no. And I already know because I've been with this woman, right? I already know who she is. I already know who those two are. No, you get after this, you getting dealt on sight. Period. Come on my
Mm-hmm.
property. I'm gonna give you one warning to step off my property.
Mm-hmm.
Period. It's done after that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I just don't. And see, and this is the problem. It's that fist fight that's probably even got him in a leak in because he's in custody right now.
Mm-hmm.
They're trying to sort this thing out. And I guarantee you it's that fist fight that if he had just kept it simple, get off my property.
Right.
and then he could have shot him after that. And I
Well,
guarantee you he would not be in custody right now.
Well, what some of the people who looked at the footage were saying, and I don't think I agree with this, but you can kind of make the case. What they are saying is that it was essentially an execution and he could go to jail for it because they run in, he starts letting off some shots, they run out. That final shot that killed the guy, the brother who's dead, he was already outside, like physically outside of the house with his back turned. And I think he might have even been on the ground when the guy walked out and, shot him wherever he shot him. And so they're saying, like, yes, those initial shots when they ran in, those are justified. But once the intruders turn their back and they're running from you, you no longer can make the case that you were in danger. Now, I'd make the case that I don't know what's in their car. And I'm gonna take these people out before they start
Pretty much.
firing off shots at my house. So you come in my house, it's a done deal, bro. You can't come in and then walk away like, oh, my bad, it was wrong house. No, 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 no. Take this lead with you. So I personally side with the brother, but from a legal standpoint, I don't know how Detroit works. I don't think they really have, stand your ground laws or whatever in Detroit. So he might be in a really bad spot legally, even though they were the aggressors.
Which is why the fist fight never would happen.
But again, it all comes down to them running around doing what some woman told them to, which is a serious problem.